What's up, guys? And now I head here. Wanted to give you guys some comparisons of three different knife companies with all the same locking mechanism, which is a button lock, and kind of tell you which one of these is my favorite button lock. Obviously, there's a lot of variables that change not only within each company, but within each knife, depending on how the knife is designed, how the blade, how much it weighs, how thick it is, a lot of stuff to consider. But in these right here is what I'm going to be basing my opinion on. So first things first, probably the most famous budget button lock. This is the Cjrb Pyrite. Really snappy, absolutely a goat when it comes down to a budget button lock and the action and the buttery smoothness when it disengages. These are all sporting the plunge lock, as you can tell right there. So it just pretty much disengages once you press down that button. You can engage the blade or disengage the blade on all these with that button. So yeah, this one right here, definitely, I'm basing it just off of the smoothness of deployment and disengagement of the button. And I have to say, it's hard to beat this Pyrite. It is just super smooth. I will say with button locks in particular, there is sometimes a break-in period. When I received this one, it did have some button stick, but after a couple weeks, that went away completely, and it's just super smooth. I mean, again, this is pretty much the definition of a smooth button lock right here. This is kind of where the bar is set, so it's a pretty high bar with this Pyrite. So yeah, next one, civivi Cjrb. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I had a lot of issues with this one, specifically because of the button lock and the button stick that it had. I did try to make some adjustments to it, and it has gotten way better. So this one, same thing, a bit more snappy, really nice disengagement. Also, a little bit, you can hear a little bit of stick on this one. But it feels nice, especially because of these aluminum scales right here. When it disengages, kind of just sucks it in. Really nice detent too. One thing I didn't talk about this one has a little bit, just a very minimum amount of, blade play once it's locked in. So, I mean, that's something to consider. This one, none. That thing it feels nice and secure in there. Snaps out, really nice, and then just drops down. Again, it kind of like sucks it in. Boom. Just like that. Here, let's see this one. It does, but it's not as prevalent like this one that it just sucks it back in. Again, something to consider. Texturing on here is okay. Button on here is really smooth, so I'd say this one has better texturing. It doesn't come out as much, the button on this one right here. Let me see if this one, comparing it to the Pyrite. Yeah, Pyrite sticks out just a little bit more. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. Some people say that it'll get in the way and disengage. I've never found that to be the case, but something to consider. And then lastly, we have here the Kizer Hiccup. This one is same deal, plunge lock. It does have a flipper though, and a couple other options of disengagement. And it's tuned very well. I really enjoy the acoustics of this one. Not sure if you're able to hear all that. Makes a lot of good tings and sounds, especially because of the Pyrite, makes really good sounds too. So yeah, this one, you definitely see more texturing on that button right there. nice and grippy. And it feels a little bit harder to disengage. I'd say it's just tuned a little bit more, you know, stiff to deploy this out. There is a very minimal movement. So there is a little bit of movement there also. So again, this one sticks out quite a lot as well, probably the same or if not more than the pyrite, maybe a little bit more than the pyrite. Closing feels good. Let's see how this one has the detent dialed. Okay. Yeah, this one, the Cjrb definitely has the detent dialed in a little bit more to get sucked in. Yeah, it's a little bit tougher. Yeah, guys, I mean, it's kind of hard to honestly pick. They're all so good, but I mean, it's kind of... feels good, but yeah, it just, the smoothness of the pyrite, it's kind of immediate, you know, the drop down. This one, I feel like I gotta shake it down a little bit more, considering this blade might be a little bit lighter too, you know, give or take, that might be something to consider. This one drops down really nice also, but it just feels a little bit stiffer. I think I'm gonna have to give it to the pyrite, guys. Yeah, it's definitely just a bit more satisfying to open and close, and just, I mean, it's so easy. Sticks out just enough. I feel like this one, I like how it's a little bit more concealed, and you know, it's not sticking out as much. Definitely like how there's no movement, but yeah, I don't know. I can't say it's better than the pyrite. Pyrite definitely just takes the dub for me. Excellent knife. I mean, when you're considering a budget button lock, I mean, there's there's a lot of options, but there's very few that are gonna give you as much as this right here. So yeah, guys, I'm going with the pyrite. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Go ahead and prove me wrong on the comments. If you guys have any other button locks that you guys can recommend that you feel can be a contender for this, go ahead and drop it down below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.